Have I done it? I've done it. We're live. I'm going to start playing some music because I'm gonna bake cookies. Nope, that's my phone. Hello to anyone who is watching, if there is anyone watching. All right. Cool. Nice. Okay. I made my speaker angry. Okay. So, I'm gonna make cookies. And that's still too loud. Artie, hello! Well, thank you for watching me bake cookies. I'm gonna make peanut butter cookies tonight. I'm glad you're in the chat because it means that someone's watching. So I'm gonna make peanut butter cookies. Hello! There's probably a delay, so the lighting in my kitchen is bad, so that's something. The recipe that I have is from like a really old cookbook from my mom's kitchen from I don't know when, but they're good. Those cookies that have like the cross hatch in the middle because you take it with a fork. But yeah, I have not gotten my eggs out. I've done mise en place. I have all my stuff there, but not my eggs, and I do need 2 of those. So I'm gonna get those. I'm glad I actually bought a whole carton of eggs, which I never do, but I was like, I started working from home last Tuesday, and I haven't stepped foot out of my apartment since then. I don't remember what fresh air smells like, but at least I have a lot of eggs now, although now I'll officially be down to 1. Should I do a half recipe? I am only 1 person. I do have a lot of counter space. I mean, I have counter space, which is the difference. I have 1 singular drawer now for my silverware, which is a difference from our old apartment, which had no drawer, and it was just good luck. So yeah. So I have my egg, and then because I'm gonna get wacky and wild, I also got chocolate chips and peanut butter chips that are left over from like other cookies I've made. Because there's no rules in baking. I mean, there are actually a lot of rules, but the whole thing about baking is that it's rules because it's science. But, right. That's what I was going to do. It's bacon. So I'm going to start by preheating my oven to 350 degrees. Oh yeah, it's gonna peanut butter chips with peanut butter cookies with peanut butter chips. Yes. I'm gonna just only be eating peanut butter for the rest of my life, I guess. So the oven is on. We are ready for that to happen. So this recipe, which I'm really glad about, calls for shortening and not butter, because I used all of my butter up yesterday or 2 days ago making Puerto Rican sweetbread, because it's very buttery, and I did end up making a lot of that accidentally. So it's all in my freezer right now. But yeah, luckily this recipe is just like shortening, and I have a lot of Crisco. So we're gonna start. Step 1 of the recipe. I just got it. I keep thinking I get texts, but it's just notifications from all my news apps because I work in news, so I have to get all these apps. So I have to know what's happening, but it was just something about Hank Aaron. So let's start. We're going to whip the shortening and peanut butter with the mixer. So I'm going to do a half recipe of this. It normally calls for 1 cup shortening, so I'm only going to do half a cup of shortening and half a cup of peanut butter. I got my handy dandy 1973 KitchenAid mixer. This was my grandma's mixer. and it is named Barbara Ann because that is her name. I originally named it Mary Berry because I was watching a lot of Great British Bake Off when I used this, like, the first time. And I just wanted that Mary Berry energy, but I was like, it would make more sense if I named it after my grandma. So, Barbara Ann. She's beautiful. And it's from 1973 and it works fine. So, all right. So we need half a cup shortening and half a cup of peanut butter. They don't make them like that anymore. I mean, they make the ones that tilt back, which is nice. And the dough hook that I got don't reach the bottom because the bowl is too big, which isn't a problem because I often make a lot of bread. But I just use the good old paddle. If it calls for a dough hook, I just do it wrong. So it's like I said, baking is a science and there are rules, but I don't follow them. You don't need it. Okay, because I have one drawer, I can't find any of my good knives. Okay, knife. So we're gonna do half a cup of shortening. I love cuttable vegetable oil. That's how you know it's healthy. Cut that oil with a knife. Also, I washed my hands before this, just so that's out there. I wash my hands again, so now they're covered in shortening. So. I don't know if you can hear the music in the background, but I just downloaded like every song made by, there's an artist whom I love named Louis Zone, and he does just beautiful music that makes me feel calm and happy inside when I'm very stressed out. And all of his albums are like named after just like happy things. Like I think this album is just called like November or something. Oh no, this is from an album called Jam, and this song is called Blackberry Jam. And now we have Mango Habanero Jam. My favorite album is called Apples, and each song is just named after a different apple, and it's beautiful, and it just makes you forget that bad things exist in the world sometimes. Which, when you work in news, it's a lot of bad things that you hear about, so. Anyway, now I have to deal with measuring out peanut butter. Oh, that smells so good. Oh my gosh. Oh! I'm going to, pro tip, I'm going to spray my measuring cup so I can get the peanut butter out. That might have been too much, but it's fine. Getting a spatula. This was too small of a spatula to do this with. But that's a lot of peanut butter. Woo. I think it's interesting that, of course, as soon as I'm not working anymore, I want to bake a lot. But baking, working is prime time for baking because then I can just bring all the cookies into work and then everyone likes me more. Which was my secret to when I first started working there, was I made myself immediately known as the cookie person. So then people recognize me and know who I am. That worked pretty well. Yeah. Okay, half a cup of peanut butter. Do I need a half a cup measure anymore? Even if I do, it's covered in peanut butter, so that was bad planning on my part. Okay. So now we have to whip them together. Something about making a half recipe is it doesn't fill up the bowl very well. So it just all smushed around the sides. So probably should have done this with a hand mixer instead of a stand mixer, but you learn. Now I just have a big ball of what looks like weird granola. Okay. Try it again. I'm just gonna hold it. kind of. Okay. We're going to say that that was the correct thing to do. That's what I have to do when I use the dough hook sometimes. This dough hook doesn't reach the bottom, so I become the mixer. Now we are going to add sugar, brown sugar, and add the sugar, brown sugar, and cream together. But at first I was like, I don't have cream. This was a mistake. I cream it. Okay. Adding sugar and brown sugar. So we need, the recipe calls for a cup of sugar, so I'm going to do half a cup because I'm doing half a recipe. We'll see how long it takes me to forget that I'm doing that and then put in way too much of something. I imagine it won't take that long. Jeez, okay. I got sugar on my table. Okay, because I used my peanut butter scoop already, I'm going to use the 1/4 cup scoop and just do it twice. So we have 1 cup, 1/4 cup, and now we have half a cup of sugar. And then, because they're cookies, more sugar. Now we're going to do half a cup of brown sugar. So, I assume packed. I'm going to pack it out with half brown sugar. There's 1. When I was little, anytime I had to pack brown sugar for something, I was always so excited because it kind of looks like a sandcastle. Brown sugar just looked like sand. The queen of observations. So now we're going to cream that together, and hopefully the scoop will now reach more of it. Sandy cookies, yeah. Okay. It smells so good. I'm dying. I would eat this just now. It's literally just shortening peanut butter and sugar. A tasty snack. Just eat it. Again, this is not enough dough for this mixer. I really should use the hand mixer, but that's even louder. So, and I would not be able to hear my little song if I was using a hand mixer. Okay. So now we're going to mix it again because I didn't get everything. All right, it is mixed. I'm gonna, once again, just scoop everything all around. What? I caught it. Okay. I just want to eat this. It's just sugar peanut butter. Yum. So next we are adding my egg. Recipe calls for 1, 2. I'm doing 1 because half recipe. Egg. Don't want to see eggs ever again. I've been playing so much Animal Crossing. All I can think about those dang Easter eggs. They're everywhere. Ah, okay. And now I'm going to add my vanilla. It calls for 1 teaspoon, so I will use half a teaspoon. There we go. Half a teaspoon of vanilla. Mix it up a little bit. So next is the flour, so I want to make sure everything's incorporated now before we get to that. Put this back in the fridge. Okay. So the egg and the vanilla is mixed in. Did I put in baking soda? Oh, okay. Add egg, vanilla, flour, salt, baking soda. I'm going to add the salt and the baking soda now. So I need Hey, dang it, I should have done those first. I got this wet now. I never claimed to be an expert, so hence me having to wash tools multiple times while I'm using them because I don't think about it. No thoughts, head empty, just cookie. So half a teaspoon of salt. Plus a little extra that always falls in because measuring's for suckers. Half a teaspoon of baking soda. And now 2 cups of flour, reducing it to 1. So I'm doing half a recipe. Whee! Now I watch a lot of Bon Appetit videos, and Claire, who's a pastry chef, always says to use a separate utensil to scoop the flour into the cup so it doesn't pack down. But I don't work for the Bon Appetit test kitchen. I love Claire and I respect her, but I ain't getting another spoon dirty. So, all right, 1 cup of flour. I'll mix that in. We'll start on slow so I don't get just a big cloud of flour flowing through my kitchen, because that's something that would happen to me. I'm cleaning as we go, because I have peanut butter on my counter. And now down. The magic of cleaning. I'm going to switch to the paddle attachment now. I guess here's a hint of what it looked like. Looks like sand. Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I'm excited. Okay. All right. Now my question for myself is, should I make them all with the chips in them? I'll make a couple that are like plain, then the rest will be buck wild. My good baking pan is in the dishwasher right now because I used it to make the Puerto Rican sweetbread. So we have my nasty old one that we will use today. Parchment paper. Okay. So it just looks okay. It went from looking like regular sand to moon sand. It's just in like weird clumps. That's what the paddle attachment does, I guess. Now it almost looks like ice cream or mashed potatoes. It has that like texture. Again, I want to eat this with a spoon. It does, yeah, kinetic sand, yeah. I want to pick it up. Oh, that makes you so heavy. It's probably because it's from the 70s when they made stuff heavy. Anywho, but yeah, I want to pick this. I'm like resisting the urge. You know how like when you look at lava and you want to put your hand in it because it just looked like it would feel good? I just want to stick my hand in this cookie dough and just squish it. I gotta know what it feels like. Okay. So, my problem with baking is that I keep putting utensils in the sink because I try to clean as I go, but then I need to get more utensils because I put them in the sink too early. We'll see how many rubber spatulas I end up using. So, we have a pretty sizable dough ball. I'm gonna make half into plain, and then half into the chipped ones. Now it says to do teaspoonfuls. We're gonna make them bigger cookies. I'm gonna use a tablespoon to measure them. I didn't think about this because now I can't. It's a difficult way to do it. Whatever. I'll use a regular spoon and just eyeball it. I once got really good at measuring cookies. Yeah, like I guess this would be safer than lava to put my hand in. So, well, it's like that post where it was like, you ever look at lava and you think, I want to eat that? And it's like, you can't eat it. Only once. Only once, though. Yeah, I got really good at measuring out cookies when I was doing at work. The reason I became like the cookie person was because we had a cookie contest. It was like a holiday cookie contest because I got this job in October. I started in November. So I was there like peak holiday cookie time. And there was like, oh, we're going to have a holiday cookie contest. And I am the person that I am. So I decided I must win that. So I spent like a full 2 weeks, like straight up developing a recipe. They were sentences. I've been writing all day, man. Yep. Anyway. Spoon count. 1. Spoon 2. As I was saying, I made apple oatmeal cookies because I wanted to make them like little apple pies. And so I spent a while. I literally like made like one of those like brain flow charts. I was like, do I want to mix the apples in, or do I want to have them separate? What kind of apple do I want to use? Do I want to use Granny Smith? Do I want to use Pink Lady? Do I want to do a glaze on them? If I do a glaze, do I want to make it caramel? Do I want to make it cinnamon? Do I want to add walnuts? Do I not? And so it was a lot of recipe development. I felt like a real baker. But I ended up going with, the cookies were like little cups kind of. What I did was I actually baked them in a mini muffin tin. And then as soon as they came, or no, it was a regular muffin tin, but as soon as they came out, I took the bottom of like a shot glass and I pushed it in so it became like a little divot. And then I ended up putting like the apple mixture in the middle, and it was like a mixture of Pink Lady apples and Granny Smith because I couldn't decide. But the thing is like the Pink Ladies had much more of like an apple flavor, and then the Granny Smiths were just really tart. And I couldn't decide, and I decided how about both. So then the cookie itself was just like, it was just a plain oatmeal cookie, but instead of just doing cinnamon in it, I added extra cinnamon, and then I added apple pie spice, which has like nutmeg and a bunch of other stuff in it. And then I added walnuts, which I think I already said. And then the glaze, again, because I couldn't decide between caramel or cinnamon, I just took like a royal icing recipe, and then I added just icing caramel, like the kind you get from like the ice cream aisle of Publix, just Smucker's caramel. I put that in, and then I put in cinnamon, and I drizzled that over once they were cool. And I won first place. Woo! So, but because I wanted them to all be perfect and exactly the same size, I literally had my little kitchen scale out, and I was measuring like perfect 35-gram cookies for each one. So they were all exactly the same size. Woo. But they won. So, and then, don't have, well, I guess I'll use this. Use my little soy sauce container to get my flour. So I have my cookies in little balls. And I'm going to use a fork with some flour. I guess I could just dip the fork in the flour thing and not get a dish dirty. That would help. I'm not trying to fill up my dishwasher right now. Although I guess the point is that you don't get peanut butter in the flour. Dish time. Anywho, but yeah, I won first place in a cookie contest at work my first month of working there, and that's how I became known as the Cookie Girl, which was rad. But those cookies were also really like time intensive, And then, of course, like after my family found out that I'd won, they were like, "You should make those cookies for us," which I love doing. Don't get me wrong. But I was just like, "Oh God, I've created the most complicated recipe possible," because it required me to like cut up apples really tiny and then basically like reduce the apples down with sugar and cinnamon and butter. That's just making me hungry now thinking about it. But yeah, I posted it on allrecipes.com. I'm a real recipe developer. So now what I'm doing is I have floured the fork and I'm squishing down in 2 different ways to make that classic little like crisscross pattern that you see on a peanut butter cookie. I think there's a lizard. Oh, there's a wasp on my sliding, like outside my sliding glass door, thank God. But it is like smacking at the door, and that's terrifying. It's a really, I guess I don't know if it's a wasp, but it is a giant bug. I assume it's a wasp because what other bug has that, like, that much anger? God, that's terrifying. Just little pats against my window. I guess I should probably close it anyway because it's nighttime, but. Ugh. It sounds like someone like lightly like tipping on my window. It's terrifying. And the wasp wants cookies. Maybe I'll put one outside for the wasp later. Okay, so we have 12 little cookies. This recipe still makes so many. I have still half left. I'm just gonna have 24 cookies for me, myself, and I. All right, so the oven is preheated to 350. No smoke, that's a plus. So I'm gonna put them in. Yep. I'll flip it around. Beautiful, thank you. Okay, so I'm setting the timer for 10 minutes. And I want to prep the other cookies, so I guess I should just wash the other cookie sheet, huh? Ugh, it's do work. God, that is that angry wasp, man. It is still trying to get in. That's so scary. Like, dude, go away, please. I'm not gonna let you in. You can see how chaotic my dish washing skills are. If water doesn't go everywhere, did you really wash the dishes? So, at least, I mean, I'm gonna put parchment paper on this, and there was parchment paper on it before. But now it's extra clean. Clean for a cookie. Okay. I have so many towels now. I'm so bad at not using every, That's a problem. Oopsies. I don't think I have more. I don't have any more parchment paper. I think I have a reusable one though. My reusable parchment paper, it's a little silicone mat. I know where it is, but it's deep in a closet with all my other baking stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get the cookie balls ready and then I'll transfer them onto the already parchment papered tray. when it's ready. I'm gonna get the drying rack out just for now. And I guess I just wash this for fun then. I'll just put them on a cutting board for now, because I do still need to mix in the chips. So I never actually measure when a recipe calls for chocolate chips. I just put in whatever my heart feels like is the right amount, which is always like at least twice what the recipe calls for, which probably isn't good for like the structural integrity of the cookie. But who cares? Baking's a science. But I'm a writer, so, you know. So we just added peanut butter chips to the peanut butter cookies, because I don't know subtlety. And now I have, these were on sale, so I have Godiva bittersweet chocolate. I'm more of a Publix brand kind of girl, but listen, when they're buy one get one free, it's hard not to. I love luxury. What can I say? Okay. I don't want to use my stand mixer again. I guess I'll just use my rubber spatula to mix in these chips. I have never wanted to eat cookie dough more in my life. Ever. And I'm thinking of adding more chocolate chips to this. Because, you know, there's a good amount. But it's not a great amount. It's not enough that it's, I want the ratio where you think that's too many. Or that chocolate's going to melt and it's not going to have any cookie left. That's what I'm looking for. Some more chocolate chips. Also, I need to use these up. They're a little old. The chocolate, it's like starting to bloom a little bit, but whatever. Add a couple more. Yeah, more chip than cookie. Would you like some cookie with your chocolate chips? A little, but not that much. I almost dumped the whole bag in, which wouldn't have been a bad thing. Kind of the opposite of the problem. All right. You can just hear them like rattling around in there. There's so much chip to cookie. Wait, lighting, please work with me. Camera. Okay, wait. Yeah, that's dough. I lost a chip. That's what happens when you're just using your laptop to stream. Who needs a camera in a real setup when you have laptop and a shoebox to prop it up on? I'm a real streamer. I was literally looking into today how much like capture card is, because I really want to stream Animal Crossing, but Nintendo Switch doesn't have like built-in. Oh yes, here's your chip. Here's the one that fell. There you go. That's Archie's chip. I'll put it on the. Actually, if I put it on the laptop, it would melt because my laptop likes to overheat, and then I would just have a puddle of peanut butter on the laptop. But you know, a fun snack for later while I'm working. But yeah, I want to stream Animal Crossing, but the Nintendo Switch doesn't have a built-in capture card, so you have to buy one, and the only ones that are worth buying are like at least $100. Well, I couldn't find one that are less than $100, but anywho, what's this? Oh, not you, Google. I said, what's this? And it was like, yes. But yeah, because I played that game like a maniac. It came out on the weekend, and I played it. I literally didn't move from my couch then, and because I'm working from home now, I wake up at 8:30, which is rad because I get to sleep in. I play Animal Crossing until 10:30. Then I work from 10:30 to 7 something, depending on how long my like data takes me to do. And then I eat dinner, and then I play Animal Crossing, and then I go to bed. So literally my entire life is just I'm either working or I'm playing Animal Crossing. Those are my two states of being. But because basically all I do now is play Animal Crossing, my town is whack. There's just a lot happening. But it's not as awesome though. Like my town right now is RTA. I don't know if I'm sure. Well, you remember her? Our old roommate Emma. She was there for like a semester. She was so sweet. She was in, I think, the room that you moved into. Yeah, she took over Katie's room for a little bit. Her town is like, it's beautiful. Like, we actually, at work, okay, that's a little loud. Hang on. Shush. For work, I had mentioned to my boss that I was using Animal Crossing as like a way to de-stress during these stressful times. And he was like, I wonder if that's the story. Because I work in news. And, we have to think if things that we do in our daily life are worth reporting on. So he literally did a story. Oh, right, she was, okay, yeah. I've lost all timeline. Time doesn't exist anymore. I was literally typing out today's date, and I typed Wednesday instead of Wednesday, and I just kind of stared at my computer for a bit, like, is today Wednesday? Is it Wednesday already? I had to try to remember how to spell Wednesday. But yeah, she's been playing since day one, and her town is just beautiful. I aim one day for my town to look as good as hers. But the thing is, I also haven't visited her town in like a week. So I can't imagine how cool it looks now. I mean, I'm sure she has paths by now, which, like, that's going to be some infrastructure. Like, I put pathways down, and I have like a shopping district and a residential district, and I have little pathways around little ponds in my town, so I make little parks. Ooh, that's the timer. Woo. I hear you. I heard you the first time. I like talking to my oven because it can definitely hear me. Okay. Yeah. Whoop. Whoop. Yeah. Cookie. Okay, so I'm going to give them a little bit of time to chill while I finish making these into dough balls. The thing with these is I'm going to have a lot more of these cookies because the chocolate chips take up like half the volume. So it multiplied how much cookie there is. What I'm thinking of doing is I might freeze some of these dough balls. Because what I like to do is I'll freeze them in little like pucks like this. And then I'll put like 2 or 3 on like the little tray that go in the toaster, and I'll just toast some cookies when like I don't want to bake a whole batch, but I want 3 cookies. So that's a mom hack. I eat something my mom's just always done that I just assumed was something that everyone did, but no, it's just something my mom does. But also probably more people do it. But I've inherited a lot of things from my mom that I think are just common sense. Like the specific way to load the dishwasher. But not everyone does it that way. Okay. I'm just doing the rest by hand. Okay. I could just make one really big cookie. The bake time would change, so I'm not going to do that. I'll do 2 small and a half size cookies. So. Okay, so somehow I split the dough in half and got 12 of one cookie, and I have 18 of the other. So I somehow have like 6 cookies worth of chocolate chips in these. So that's the mood. It's just 6 cookies worth of chocolate chips in each cookie. I really want to eat one of these. It just a little bonbon. that almost rolled off the counter. Okay, so I'm going to transfer these. When I get surprised, I just turn into some character from the Mario universe at some point. That scream was a little Mario, but sometimes it's whack, and sometimes it's ring. So that one was like whoop. So okay, so now I'm gonna put down a little silicone mat so I can transfer this over to my counter and not kill my counter while I put the other cookies on and do a little flour press for all of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bake 12 of these and just freeze the other 6 because that's all I have room for on the tray. So I'm so happy. I haven't had dinner yet. And my dinner might just be cookie. What if I just ate 24 cookies and called that dinner? One can do that. It's 2020. I'm doing good for the world by not leaving my house. I'm social distancing. I'm self-isolating. Although this is kind of how my life just normally is, because I don't know anyone in this city. So the only difference is that I'm not getting in my car and driving 12 minutes to work every day. My life would be exactly the same otherwise. But you know, I can pretend that this is different and crazy for me. But yeah, treat yourself. Nutritious. Yeah, I mean, listen, peanut butter has protein in it. So if I eat 24 peanut butter cookies, I'm getting my protein in for the day. So that's fine. Don't ask any scientist about that. I've said before and I'll say it again. I'm not a scientist. I'm just baking cookies and I want to eat them. All right, cookies round 2. The chocolate chippening in the oven. I always forget how hot the oven is when I open it. Okay, so what I'm going to do with these last 6 is I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to do like I said, we'll do the flour press. I'm going to press these last 6 down like I would a normal cookie. But instead of putting them on a baking sheet, I'm going to put them in the freezer for later. Just going to get a little bit of, oh my gosh, my wax paper's out too. I apparently can't keep papers. Plenty of cling wrap. So that's something. I'll use the cling wrap. I keep forgetting I poured myself a drink. I'm not good at multitasking. What is the best surface for me to use to put in the freezer with cookies? I'll use a loaf pan. I'm just going to line this with cling wrap and then put the cookies in here and then pop that in the freezer. And then once they're frozen, I'll put them in Ziploc. What? Cling wrap. That's not how I wanted you to do that. Not even a little bit. Anywho. Or if you're Blathers, any hoot. Haha! All I do is play Animal Crossing. Cookie. Okay. I shouldn't plan this out super well. Because as soon as I try to do the flour press on this cookie, it likes to stick to the cutting board. So that was not good planning on my part. But the best laid plans of mice and men. I don't remember the rest of it. They poop. I read that book in 7th grade, and I can't think of alfalfa without thinking about Lenny dying. Spoilers for mice and men, I guess. But yeah, anytime I play Stardew Valley and I play alfalfa, I just think about the rabbits. And I think about Lenny from Mice and Men. And it makes me sad. Okay. So now we have some cookies in a loaf pan that I'm going to let freeze for future cooking. I want to move my computer for while I clean because I did not do the first rule of cooking, which is clean as you go. I'm forgetful. So come with me and you'll be there. Different angle. Yeah. Wow. It's a whole new world. Yeah. Okay. So my little dishy of flour, I'm gonna dump out. Put that in there. I'm gonna do my pro tip for washing the dishes. If you have one big thing, put everything else in that, and then just pour water in it and let it sit for a bit. Also, this is dish soap. I just like pumps. I'm not just putting hand soap and everything. I'm not that chaotic. I'm like 12 degrees less chaotic than that. I also just realized that I put my computer where my drying rack usually goes, so that'll be a fun thing to figure out. Maybe I'll move the drying rack here, and I'll move my speaker there, on top of the flour. I'm gonna get my drying rack out so that I may do dishes. I do have a dishwasher, but this is just faster. And I gotta do something while the cookies bake. They still got 6 minutes left, so. Believe it or not, I'm taller than that. Okay. Now I'm gonna move this to this side of the sink. I'm just doing my dishes in reverse. I normally start on the right side and move them to the left side, and that it's different now. Okay. So I realize a running sink might not be super good audio, but dishes gotta get done somehow. Another mom thing that she always told me is to not use a sponge for dishes, use a cloth. So you can pop that in the laundry. You can get a new one every day. Because in my mom's words, sponges are like little bacteria beds. Which kind of makes sense. So thanks, Mom. Queen of tips. So I'm gonna have to wash peanut butter out of a cup. 4 minutes, baby. Oh yeah, ASMR dishwashing. Is it ASMR if I'm yelling over running water? Probably not. One can aspire, but we ain't there yet. Just have like an ASMR. ASMR, I tell you that you loaded the dishwasher wrong. ASMR, you tell me that you loaded the dishwasher, and then I say, wow, good job, and then it's just sounds of me rearranging it in the background. That's a niche market. Okay. Cutting board. And some of my many spoons. So, kitchen talk, since we're in the kitchen, and because I'm thinking about what I want to eat for dinner. My freezer right now it has 6 cookies more in it. It's also mostly lasagna because I was trying to prep ahead because I work for the news, so I hear about basically everything that's happening, and so I know like when like people were panic buying more than they are now. Basically, it's just like toilet paper and cleaning products are gone, but everything else is kind of there still. Flour was gone, but there was plenty of bread. But I had seen in like the couple weeks where it was really bad that the shelves in the pasta aisle were basically empty except for lasagna noodles. And so people were making jokes like, haha, even in a pandemic, people don't know how to make lasagna. But then it just made me really want lasagna. Mostly, oh yeah, I'm gonna start a band. It's called Mostly Lasagna. No thoughts, head empty, mostly lasagna. But so I was just like, all right, well, panic buying or not, now I just want lasagna. So I went and I was like, okay, well, this is going to be good because I want to make lasagna anyway. So as soon as I found out that I was going to be working from home, my plan was just to not have to use my car for the foreseeable future and not like go anywhere because only places I go are work or the grocery store. So I went like prepared to like stock up to not have to leave my apartment for the foreseeable future. So I was gonna buy all lasagna and make a bunch of lasagna. But then of course all the other pastas were there. But then because my head was purely lasagna, I still bought it and I made a huge thing of lasagna. And then I remembered I'm one person. So now I have like 12 servings of lasagna in my freezer. So that's all I'm going to be eating for a while. And I also bought other food, and I made some. But I got 12 seconds. Yeah. I'm ready. Cookie. Yeah. I was going to do like a cookie, like pick your fighter. This is me about to pull cookies out of the oven. I'm tired. Woo! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at them. Ah, they're so beautiful. All right. Let this cool for a bit. Finish cleaning. I'm going to finish what I was washing over in the here area. Just kidding. I'm gonna put that stuff in the dishwasher. I don't want to hand wash anymore. I'm done. But I will clean off my counter because there's flour on it still. Because that's just how it is. Clean as you go. That's what we're doing. I forgot my music stopped. Anywho. Trash. Else watching me clean my kitchen isn't fun. So, I'm going to wrap this up, but I'm going to wrap it up by eating a cookie. I chose this one because it's broken. So there's that. So, peanut butter cookie. This is what it looks like now that it's cooled. I guess it sat on the edge of the baking sheet because it's 2 different colors. So that's fun. But yes. Yeah, that's cookie all right. That's Cookie. Okay, I was joking originally about that I might eat all 24 of these today. Now I don't think it's... Might not be a joke. Might eat all 24 cookies today. So, yeah. I'll tweet out the recipe to this on my Twitter. So you may make it. It's pretty simple. I chose these specifically because like it's just really plain ingredients that like most people have, like peanut butter, sugar, brown sugar. The recipe calls for shortening. You can use butter. It'll be butterier. But yeah, it's like flour, sugar, brown sugar, vanilla, baking powder, soda, baking soda, peanut butter, and then throw in whatever else you want in it, like a million chocolate chips, which is what I did. So thank you for joining me. I'm gonna eat all these cookies. Goodbye. I'll try to stream more often because I'm trapped in my house and talking to my computer screen is the closest I've gotten to human interaction in a while. So, can you tell? Probably. Thank you for joining me. Fare thee well. Click the button. Bye. I have to click it twice. Okay, bye.